evening. Welcome to another episode of Dissect. I go by
Okay.
the novelist,
And I am Jewel.
and we are on time. Today, we have another exciting guest for you on Dissect, as usual, like we had last week and the week before and weeks to come. So, we'll be right back.
So I'm Janine Zabi across. I'm Janelle Zabi. And where's Zabi Street?
Yourself, this is what you beat on the inside and we're ready to go.
Are you, Jewel? I think you have hidden talents that you're not talking about.
I just get at the bar. Ain't no bar, Mr. Drum.
I can honestly say that they've done such a good job with hospitality and welcoming all people in.
Well, Samantha Moon.
So my name is Claudette Alona Peters.
I am Selena.
And then that's how it started. When I came home,
My name is Pumpa. Stage name, of course.
Well, I was born in Spanish Town, Jamaica.
I am Evelina Blanc.
I am a mother first. I think I'm a really wonderful friend. I did a really great business.
I gotta be ready because you're like, oh, she picked that. No, I didn't.
Yep. I am Kendra Stephen. I am Rena Charles, aka Mystery.
People forward in victory.
We are back.
Yes, we are. So, Jules, what's going on?
You know what? I'm happy that the weather is great. Today was nice outside. I don't know, but I'm feeling kind of tired. I don't know if the weeks have been going by so quickly. It's already almost the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm exhausted. But yeah.
Okay.
Good. How are you?
Tired, like you said. I don't know, something about the air, I guess. But, the week has been nice with the weather.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good thing. It feels good, but I have a feeling we're going to pay for it.
I hope not. I heard this year is supposed to be a mild winter, so we'll see.
We'll see. So let's see what our next guest thinks about that. So I don't know. Do you want to introduce the next guest, or would you like to introduce the next guest?
You can go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say but it's could be long. This, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna bring her in, and we're gonna get into the introduction I would like to give. So, this woman has been in the business for over 30 something years, ladies and gentlemen. The beautiful Miss Paula Letang. Your mic is muted. Welcome to Dissect.
Mike, did you hear me the first time? I said what's up and sakafet.
All right, you see, there we go.
That's all you're getting, though.
That's it for the Creole? That's okay, because you have to interpret everything you say anyways.
How are you?
I am fabulous. It is so lovely to be here with you, novelists, and you, Jewel. You guys have flipped the script on me. Usually it's the other way around, and I'm interviewing people and digging deep and getting into the nitty gritty. So I'm going to do my best to not do that to you today. And to if you catch me doing it, it's habit.
It's all natural habits. So, it's good to sit down on the other side for a bit and let the people know who you are, because, you let them know who everybody else is, right?
I do that with pleasure. I really enjoy meeting people, whether it's going to be on a phone or in studio. When we used to be in studio, it's always great to find out what people are doing, where they're going. And, if you can be part of that journey to help them to get to that goal, then, it feels good.
Right.
Okay, so I like what you just said there. I got to come back to that, but let's get a proper introduction.
You can hold me to it.
Yes, I will hold you to it. There's so much to give you flowers for, and so much to be thankful for when it comes to you. So, but I want you to tell the people who you are. So,
Okay.
we already gave them your name. You can do that again.
Yes.
Where you from? What you represent.
Mhm. My name is Paula Letang-Loblack, and I'm fabulous. No, I'm just kidding. I'm originally from the nature island of Dominica. I was born there in a couple years ago, and my parents, my mom is from Grenfell, my dad from Jourdel, and basically I grew up in the city part of Dominica, downtown, and I am a radio host. I am um, I guess, an entrepreneur as well. I could say that. I am an event coordinator. I mean, my daily in the day, I'm an admin person. I wear a lot of hats. I mean, I was going to go deeper into that, but I think that if I do that, then that's basically everything. So I'll you kind of dissect it.
Right.
Right. This is the time when you should run and get your cape, that superwoman cape to put on, you know.
Sometimes, right? You don't know what you're doing until maybe conversations like this where you start to break it down and you realize, hey, maybe I do need that cape because the number of things that I'm doing, not just me, I mean, certainly other people as well. It's nice to sometimes slow down and take reference. So yeah, maybe I will put the cape on.
Oh yes, definitely put the cape on. 'Cause, I'm one who always give you your flowers, and both of you guys tonight, I'm actually gonna give both of you guys flowers right now. Paula Later is the reason for me sitting here. Paula Later is the reason there is an island therapy. Joel is the reason the name island therapy even came about. Between me and her trying to figure out a name for my sister back in the day, and Joel and I came up with the name island therapy. But this all started with Miss Later calling me to ask me to do something I've never done before, and I guess I didn't know how to say no.
Well, we're kind of glad that you didn't do that. Yeah, it was basically Sam. I think I'm going to dig back into my brain. I might have it a little off, but I think Sam was looking for more radio hosts, and so he'd asked if I knew anybody, and I knew novelists that you were DJing in the community, and I just thought, it seemed to be a natural transition, from there to actually having your own show. Hey, Peter, how you doing? Yeah, so it was, I thought, you could take your audience and bring them to the station, to a show where you could connect with them on a daily basis. So for me, I'm always trying to figure out, based on what somebody's doing, where, if I know information, they can fit in. I mean, that's just, I do it with everything. So because people have a right to shine, and they can shine if you give them the opportunity to shine. So so it was an easy, hey, novelist, so and so, and you were apprehensive. You were like, I don't do radio. I'm not that person. Right? So I'm glad that you decided to do that. And I'll maybe piggyback off of that. And you may ask more questions about Experience Creole, which honestly was almost the same experience in a different way, where I was working with a student who was studying radio, and the station CHRY, they needed a show from 6 to 8, but they didn't want a regular show. They wanted something that they didn't have at that station. And so she asked me, why don't I submit for a radio show? And I said, I don't do radio, not even on my radar. At the time, we were doing Levitation. I mean, that was my focus, not interested. So I asked somebody else to do it. They, for whatever reason, didn't follow through. So at that point, she then came back to me and she said, hey, that person never followed through. And we're making a decision the following Tuesday. That was Thursday, the week before. And I said, oh my God, I mean, if I don't do this, I can't find anybody. Our Creole community has lost an opportunity. And so am I going to not do it because I've never done it? Or am I going to do it and hopefully make a difference? So I gathered a few people together, mostly from the Haitian community at the time, because we were very, very involved in the Haitian community, and asked them to come and join me to do the show. And one of them was Mario Boussejour, who also had his own Creole show on CIUT here in Toronto. So he was somebody that kind of guided us as to what we should do for our intro. Anyways, I had 2 weeks, novelists, 2 weeks of, actually that's not true, 2 shows of 2 hours each, watching somebody man the board. That was it. That was it. And then they said, you have a show in 3 weeks. I went on and I barely said anything for the first month.
All right.
Because at the time I was trying to learn the board.
Right.
I didn't know the board. And also I think I hadn't heard myself talk.
Right.
Now I just talk a lot. But I couldn't hear myself talk. I hadn't heard what I sounded like. I mean, even though you hear it when you're singing, but it's different. People are listening for 2 hours. So that was really scary. So, but I had support. Super L was a great support. He was like, you could do this. Come on. So like, okay, I could do this. And then, you know, the community became an amazing support. Right. And within the first 5 months, I had another co-host, Ronald Jean from Haiti, and we did the show together for 5 years, and oh my God, it's so much fun. And he was so helpful with regards to the Creole, to what was happening on the scene in Haiti, or just translating something for me, or if we were having a guest that doing an interview with somebody that didn't speak English, he could do the translation. So it was really, really great vibe. And basically it was there for 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that show, and I'm not from the Creole community, but I appreciate you doing that show.
Thank you.
It was a while back, but I do remember that show. Yes.
And that was the whole point as well, was if I let it go and something else comes in there, then our opportunity is gone to introduce it to others like yourself, Jewel, and others within the community that didn't know anything even about Dominica, didn't know anything about St. Lucia, Guadeloupe, Martinique, Haiti, or anything of the Creole culture. So I feel like over those years, I've managed to at least put that seed in somebody 15 years ago that if they hear it, they know it. And if they know it, they can share it. So, you know, I feel like it was a good move. Definitely. Just like you, Novelist, was good, because here we are.
You know, like I'm sitting here listening to him, like, for all this, your legacy's gonna live on, because, you know, yes, you did experience Creole, but you gave opportunities to other people that's still doing their thing, right? So your legacy will definitely live on from there. But,
yeah, because as I said, we had Ronald Jean, who was there, and then I had a gentleman by the name of Colin, and then oh God, why does the name?
Yeah, Toxic.
But quite a few people that I said, come on down, and then we had DJ Toxic, who came on the show, and he didn't say a word. He just played the music, and I was like, Toxic, you can't be on the radio and say nothing. Eventually, I got him to talk, and now he just talks a lot. So it's good. Sometimes that type of thing forces you to do something that you didn't think that you knew you could do.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Because for me, it was definitely nerve-wracking for the first month or so. Palm sweating, and now it's easy breezy.
Right. I mean, it's the idea that people are listening to you. And I think for me in particular, because it was on a main, quote unquote, mainstream station, and I'd never even done it before, the idea that thousands of people are listening to you is a lot of pressure. Yeah.
Right.
There's an expectation, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, but before radio, you mentioned l'habitation with your husband.
Super L.
Super L.
Super L.
I want to go. I want to go before that. Like, where did the love for music start? Like, is it something that was in the household, or is it something that just you met your husband and you picked it up, or where did it all come from?
It started when I was, I'm going to say, about 8 years old. My parents had me play the piano, the accordion, the clarinet, the guitar. They were having me try a little bit of everything. So that's really where the introduction came from my dad. Also, what was interesting is I do remember my dad having a Swinging Stars album at home. And I looked at the back and I saw Norman Letang and another gentleman's name. And I said, are these people in my family? Technically, yes, I would say probably, right? But I mean, they are. But seeing that there almost made you feel like, well, they're there. There's your name. So you could do that too, you know? It was almost immediate association just because the names were there for me. So I just automatically gravitated to I did gravitate a lot more to the piano, the keyboard. And we did, I think it was at that time I was about 9 or 10. And we came actually to Toronto and they had a Kiwanis music festival for all of Ontario. Yeah. And so I got second place, which was lovely. My brother was playing guitar. He got first place for that. So, we just, that was, that's really where that started for me.
Interesting.
Do you still play the piano or the keyboard?
I dabble in it. Like I'm nowhere close to where I would have been like years ago, but I dabble in it, but it in itself has helped me, even though I'm not doing it, but it helps you to create melodies, to see where things go and all of those things. So you do take those skills with you regardless.
Right.
Yeah. So that's where that all started. I loved to dance. So, I like to give Michael Jackson some competition.
Okay.
Jackson.
You know that part. Okay.
If you would have put me on the stage with him, it would have been me and him.
Right.
And, but I loved that because, and that's really where, although I grew up listening to a lot of calypsos, not as much Creole music because that influence wasn't really there. And remember, it's not like now where you can just go online and listen on Spotify. I mean, somebody would have to actually send it to you by mail or whatever. And that just wasn't happening. So I listened more to what was happening in the city on the dial. So mostly Chum FM or in the city was CHSC 1220 AM and, whatever the mainstream stuff was going. But across the border was Buffalo, right across the border, like literally 15 minutes away. And I got a huge dose of WBLK all the time, every time. And, dance in my room and all of that stuff.
Nice.
I eventually went into a dance competition. I don't remember what I got, like second place or something like that. But I was dancing to Michael Jackson's Don't Stop Till You Get Enough.
Okay.
Show me what he loves,
I can see you doing that. I
actually want to see something.
Listen, you got to pay for that kind of stuff. Like that.
Yeah.
No, it was those were really when you talk about the different type of musics that I've experienced over the years, that was as well as folk music from because that was a time when folk was really strong on the radio, to your funk and your soul, to your Shaka Khans, to your Earth, Wind and Fire's, Commodores, Luther Vandross's, the list goes on. That was what was in my ear.
Right. So the Zouk came in, and obviously you just fell in love with that.
I did. Now that was not a music. I feel like my listeners were at the time that were just being introduced to the genre. That was not a sound I knew a single thing about. As a matter of fact, when it came to compa and zouk, when Super L first introduced it to me, because I learned of that music through Super L.
Okay.
And when I first heard it, I heard the zouk and then I heard the compa. And to me, they sounded exactly the same. I was like, why do these have a different title? They sound exactly the same. Right? Until one day it clicked and you can hear the difference. There is a difference. And I was like, wow. And then the first band he introduced me to was Kassav. I mean, clearly they were the most popular French Creole band around at the time. And I just fell in love with the music. And also because not because, okay, I'm going to say this is going to maybe sound wrong, but I wanted to fall in love with the music because it was very much my culture. And that was something that I didn't have growing up in St. Catharines because it's not a French Creole culture. So the idea that I have now musically, because I live musically, right, through the different piano and whatever. So music is important to me and it's a connection. So I wanted to have that connection because you could reject it too, but I didn't want to because it was important to me because it was my culture. And if I could find a way to connect to my culture without even, because I'm not in Dominica, then this is an avenue and I'm going to take it. And so the first band that I, again, was introduced to was Kassav. And I remember the song Pas Besoin Parler with Jocelyn Deroy. And I loved that song so much that I started to write down the lyrics so that I could sing it.
Oh, wow.
Because I wanted to be able to sing it in Creole. It was like,
did that eventually happen?
It did.
Okay.
So how did you accomplish that, not speaking Creole, and how did you write it though?
Well, because I wrote it just how I heard it, and I think in the sense also that language Creole is kind of like that way. It's how you hear it
phonetically.
Yeah. So I just wrote it how I heard it, and most of it seemed to work because if you looked at the dictionary, and sometimes I would look at a Creole dictionary just to make sure that I had the spelling of the word right, because that was important to me. Because if you're going to do it, you got to do it right. And so I started with that song. That was one of the very first songs that I taught myself to sing in Creole. And don't ask me what she was singing. And yeah, it didn't matter.
But it always sounds so much better in Creole, right?
What's that?
It always sounds so much better in Creole or a different language, right?
I mean, eventually I knew what she was saying, but at the time that wasn't important for me as much as being able to sing it. Because I remember when I was much younger, like around 12 or 13, and Mighty Sparrow had a song, anyway, one of his songs had Creole in it. And I remember when I would listen to that song, I would specifically listen so that I could say the words in Creole. I don't know. For me, I guess even though I'd left when I was about 5, there was an underlying need to be connected even with the language in some way. Yeah, I think that I feel like that was subconscious. It wasn't necessarily that I went out of my way, but it was important. I mean, because you remember a couple of words that your parents would say to you, like whatever goes or whatever, those type of things when you're a little kid. The big words, no.
We shouldn't know.
I mean, I know all the swear ones now.
Oh yeah.
I do too. I'm not clear.
I think a lot of us learn the swear ones before we actually.
I think
every language.
I think you're right.
And up till today, would you say that? Well, I would say if somebody was to ask me, what's your favorite Zouk band, I would probably say Kassav, because I see the love that.
Yeah.
right?
It's definitely Kassav. I mean, having done the radio show for the 15 years, I came across so many other incredible artists that, um, unless you're really, really into the genre, you're not going to really know too much about them. But so many. I mean, yeah, so many. I mean, if you're doing 15 years of 2-hour shows, you're going to play a lot of music and a lot of art.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Did you find that at that time a lot of music was coming out of Montreal? Because I know Montreal is a huge, I wouldn't say hub, but a lot of Creole speaking people, Haitian people are living in Montreal. Were you getting music from Montreal at that time?
Yes.
Where were you getting the music directly from?
We were getting music. Well, definitely, there was music coming out of Montreal with bands like Tikabzi, Mika Benjamin, who sadly passed away last year, and quite a number of artists came out of Montreal. But we were also getting music from Hibiscus Records was sending us music to play, especially the compa. I mean, I really relied heavily on Ronald for the compa music because he was really, really connected to that community, right? And would really know what was the latest song. Karimi, so many bands. Skasha. We went to Montreal and we saw Skasha play. That was really nice, and it's so different. Like that was the very first time I'd gone to a bal, so I didn't really know what happened at a bal, but I remember we were there, and one of the gentlemen was like, "Oh, would you like to dance?" And I'm like, "Not really," but okay, I guess so, because whatever. And then I'm like, "Oh my God, this song is still going." But I didn't realize that the bal is the longer version where the songs go for 20 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
The song not ending. But I was so glad when it did. But yes, bands like System Band and out of Montreal. So we did the Creole Festival with the Harbourfront Center here. Which we did. I try again. I like to do community people in the community that want to be in community. Sometimes are just they kind of ruin it for their own selves, even though their initial want is good. But at the end of the day, it's like, what are you doing? I reached out to a number of main people in the community and said, I want to do a Creole music festival. This was just after the Creole Festival started in Dominica. And I thought, well, we should have something here too. So I reached out to a number of those people, and some of them were open to it. And some not so much, didn't really understand why, but whatever. I don't really let things like that deter me. If I'm on a path and I'm going for something, I'm just doing it. Either you're in with me or you're just in my way. So we did a Creole Music Festival. We had DN5 come from St. Lucia. We had Tikabzi come from Montreal. We had, of course, Levitation performed. We had members of the Dominican Association did Xingping, the cordial dance. We had Lorraine Del Sol. We had, oh my goodness, of course, Lorraine does so much as well here in the community, and so it's really nice when all of that comes together. Yeah.
Wow. It's just nice just listening to you just talk about what was happening and wishing that it would happen again, and just you saying alone that sometimes they ruin things for ourselves. We ruin things for ourselves, and unfortunately, we mean well, but sometimes it falls apart, and that's the sad part about our culture.
Yeah, it falls apart because I think sometimes it becomes territorial instead of community. People start to look at it as, oh, well, I'm this person, so it should be mine. But why? It's community. It's everybody. It belongs to everybody. So everybody should be sharing in it. This is how I see things. I don't know. But again, I don't necessarily care. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't care if what what I feel that I'm moving forward is a good thing, then I just don't care.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hear you.
Yeah.
But yeah, not just you know, the music aspect of things. You're still in the community and you're still doing stuff. And we spoke about, well, when you were talking about the different genres of music that you were listening to, you also mentioned like the disco era. And
I was a dancer.
you're a
I should have been on Soul Train. Seriously, they should have hired me. Come on now.
Bring it back. We should bring it back. But,
Yeah.
I think that I'm trying to do that because now I haven't left my Creole community. It's almost impossible, really, when Super L plays 5 hours every Sunday. So it's really not possible to kind of let that go and be gone with it. And I don't mind because, you know, I'm glad that it's still there and I get to listen to a lot of the music, some new stuff that comes out, etc. But I also kind of, when the radio station CHRY basically let everybody go because they were changing their format, CJRU, which is now Met Radio, they just recently changed their name, they asked me to come over. Now, they've been asking me to come over to that station for about 5 years. And I didn't want to go because I wanted to still serve my community and make sure that the Creole community was still being heard, because I knew that otherwise there was no mainstream voice. So, but eventually that decision was made for me by the station, who changed their format. And then I took about 6 months off, and the station was like, when are you coming? I said, okay, I'm going to come, but I'm going to come in 6 months because I need some time. It's been 15 years. I need a little bit of me time. So I took that time, and I started in September of 2015 at the station. And one of the things that the station manager, she used to be at CHRY as their news director, so I knew her very well. And I said to her, one of the things that I would like is, if I'm coming over, I'm going to do a funk show. She goes, aren't you going to do the Creole show? Why aren't you going to do the Creole show? I was like, no, I'm not doing it anymore. I want to do something else. So that's when I decided I wanted to do the funk and the soul. Now, I'm going to go back a little bit, and this goes to Sam, because earlier on, while I was doing the Creole show, I was also doing a funk show called the Old School Funk Party on TDN Radio. So I would do two shows a week, one Creole and one funk and soul. And I think I did that for, about almost 2 or 3 years. I was doing them simultaneously, but at the same time. And then eventually over at Met Radio, I just completely that's all I did. But one of the things I said to her was, if I'm coming over, one of the things that I would like support for the station is a funk festival for the community. So we are now in our 7th year of the Toronto Funk, Soul, and R&B Music Festival.
Really? When does this happen?
This happens during Black Music Month in June every year. Now, the pandemic has kind of shifted things around. So this year we actually just did it in September. But we're back to Black Music Month, June this year. I've confirmed the location, but I'll mention that when I've got everything
yes, please keep
signed and dotted, whatever. Excuse me. So that's supposed to be, again, for this June. We're back. And it's about just elevating the community again, our local artists that do that genre. I'm all about that because I know how hard it is as an artist to be heard, even as an artist myself, but I understand other artists and the struggle that they go through to be heard. So we want to be a voice. So that's how I got back into the funk and soul. It was just because a little taste from TDN Radio kind of gave me that, and then I took off.
TDN brought you back home.
Yeah, the old school days. And I'm so happy. I mean, Novelist, you spoke about how I had introduced you to TDN Radio, but I'm not sure how I got connected with Sam. Maybe it was a grand phone thing. I don't know, but I'm not sure how we got connected. But I know that at one point while I was doing the show Experience Creole, I wanted to bring news. I wanted to bring news of the Caribbean. I wanted to bring news of Dominica. This was just at the time when people were able to listen to stations online on the internet, but not everybody had it or understood how to do it.
Right.
And we wanted to bring the news. So through that, we ended up connecting with Nicole. And then Nicole would read the news. Thompson read the news. And Sam would also keep us connected with the music that was going on in Dominica, in particular, the Calypso seasons, all of those things. So it was really a community, real community, just working together. One person doing one thing and the next person doing another thing, and it all coming together for the community to participate in. So yeah, I wanted to kind of bring back how connected with Sam, and through that brought in the funk and soul, and now, it was Joe Cam that linked us apparently. Joe Cam.
Okay.
He's the one. So he's the one that's connected us all at this point, right? So through just word of mouth and
to the other.
Yeah, networking. It's what it's all about.
So this station I realize you're called. They call you Lady Funkalicious.
That's right.
So
that's right.
Is this Monday to Friday that you're on air?
No, I am only on the air on Saturdays from 7 to 9. So I'm on air right now. I'm just kidding. I just put in a podcast because I knew that I was going to be live tonight during this time slot. So I used to do it Fridays for about, I would say 5 years, Friday nights. I just finish work and go across the street basically and go into the station. So I did that for 5 years, but now I just do it from home now on Saturday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. But for people that are into the funk and the soul, I mean, because I think that people like to pigeonhole people into music genres, and I don't really believe that. I believe that people like all kinds of music. Yeah, there's one you might gravitate to a little bit more, but I think we're open to all kinds of music. So, so for those that are listening or listen to this afterwards, and if you are interested in listening to some Chic, Rick James, et cetera, et cetera. But I also play new stuff too, because I'm always also about exposing the new artists to new ears and et cetera. So if you want to log into the show or you want to check it out after Dissect, then the podcast goes up every Saturday night on mixcloud.com/allaboutthefunk.
Awesome. But it's
I
also
think Lady Funkalicious is she's funky. She keeps it very funky in the six. She likes to have fun. She likes to. I'm not sure I'm not sure how I came up with the name DJ Lady Funkalicious. What I wanted it to be like, when it comes to funk music, you almost have to have a character, because most funk artists or the older ones anyways always had a character. George Clinton and his whole gang of people,
Funkified,
whatever. So I needed to have a funky name, but I wanted it to be Lady, Lady Funkalicious. So it just kind of popped up and I kind of went for it. So that's who I am. My alter ego.
Is that one alter ego or is that?
Listen, I'm Sybil. Just I could be whoever you need me to be right now.
Right. Yeah. Now we know, apart from the radio, and bringing a lot of us together, you also mentioned that you're an artist.
Yeah.
We know you have singles out there with funk music. I know you've been on that's your album.
Yeah.
So um, the radio DJ name, is that the artist name as well, or is the artist name like?
They are two separate people. When it comes to when I do funk, soul, jazz, those styles, I am Paula Letang. So but even though when I do the funk stuff, I'm still me. At the Funkalicious is specifically for the radio station, radio show. Yeah. And I love going out and sharing the different styles of music, but right now I've spent maybe the last 6 years or so really focusing on the funk and the soul, the jazz soul. A lot of my music, which I'm still, surprised about sometimes, out in the UK is always still being played. The song Sunshine went into the top 10 of their top 30 soul charts. Yeah, and two other songs, Too Hot and Bring It Back Around, went into number 8. So I still do a lot of work with people out in Germany, Japan, Italy, the Netherlands. I just did work with a guy in the Netherlands recently. So people may not hear from me within the Creole genre, but I'm pretty busy on the other side. It's catching. I'm trying to catch up to the amount of music that we did with Levitation. Where we spent like 15 years doing a lot of music. Super L bringing in, his energy in there as well. So it's been a good journey musically.
Right.
Yeah, creatively. It's been good. And I got beats.
Yeah, I know you got beats.
Is your latest single DJ Spin That Song?
DJ Spin That Song again.
I like
Make
that
me
one.
feel like I'm a dancer on Soul Train. See what I'm saying? I should be on Soul Train.
We can bring it back.
Yeah,
bring it back to see at that the June Funk Fest. We can do that. We can bring it back there. Just have a whole line.
Can we expect a performance
you just might. I actually did a little bit of it at the last one. It was kind of impromptu, and the DJ was playing the song actually, and then I started singing along with it, and then I realized I was singing along with it on the stage because I was just having too much fun. And I was like, oh my God, I'm actually singing this song, and people are actually watching me. So I had to I was like, okay, I'm done. But maybe that will happen. I'm also working with another artist out of South Africa currently. We did Super L and I did the song Lover for Life. So that was really good and had some really great traction. DJ Spin the Song again has a lot of great traction actually, especially out in St. Louis, in the US, and it's moved around quite a bit. I've actually had some interest from an artist that is well known about this song. So I don't know where that's going right now, but that's also very interesting. I'm working on another kind of R&B style to release maybe sometime next year, but as well, I'm working on an Amapiano song with a gentleman out of South Africa. So I hope to get that out next year as well too.
Where can we get all this music though?
Yeah, there's a lot of it, but a lot of it you can hear. Most of it, I would say, you would go to Spotify to hear it and add it to a playlist or just give it a listen. For buying it, it's everywhere. It's also at Musideck, where I connected with TDN Radio. So pretty much everywhere. You can hear it on my show.
Yeah, I had fun. I had fun when I was posting your ads, the ads for your appearance on the show here. I had fun just going through your songs on YouTube and posting them on Instagram. I'm glad that you're uploading them to those platforms where they can be found. Because some people don't know that these are free platforms that you can actually promote yourself on. So I'm glad.
And you'd be surprised the traction. I mean, I just got something like every once in a while they'll send you a message and say, you know, you're being heard wherever. So lots of plays in Japan, which actually has a huge disco funk market. And they didn't know it. They do. It's massive out there. Again, the UK as well has a huge market. The US kind of speaks for itself in terms of their market. But it's really just if I'd say for any artist, regardless of whatever genre you're doing, if you really want to do it, you really have to do it. Like you can't grab the email addresses, keep the lists, you know, network the way that, you know, don't just drop the song and be like, thanks and bye, and they never hear from you again. I mean, it can be hard if you've got a huge DJ list, but there's still ways to connect with people well in advance of a release so that you can rebuild that connection, because sometimes life happens. So you don't always get to connect as much as you'd like. But if you know you've got something coming up in 3 months, make those connections early so that they're ready for you.
It's interesting that you say that. I talking about the emails. I saw a DJ today, actually it was today on Instagram, and he was like, DJs, send me your emails, all your contacts. I want to share this with you. So he's like, drop your emails in the comments. So that's another way of kind of promoting yourself. It's, you know, there's so many avenues today to advertise yourself, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You just, and the thing is that, you know, you could do them all, but try to find one or two that you just do really well.
Right.
You know, because you could spread yourself pretty thin and then everything just doesn't look good or sound good, because you just can't put the amount of time or effort in that you would really want to.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I can keep talking, like, seriously. So
I know you
enjoying it.
I gotta thank you. I should have mentioned this at the top of the show. Like, you know, you mentioned that your show is going on now, and you're here at Dissect. So gotta thank you for that, for taking time
for sure
to actually sit here with us.
No, my pleasure.
All right. So, what we did not mention, I don't know if you want to do it, but we usually play a game where, you know, we just ask you a question, and the first
thing that comes to my mind. Oh God, you guys are gonna be in trouble now. Okay.
No, you see, you have the energy for it, though.
I got energy. Let's go. Let's go.
But before we get to the game, I want to ask you, because your husband has a special energy.
Has a what?
A special type of energy. Like, he is a performer, right?
Yeah.
What's it like performing with him, or even just working with him?
Oh wow, the Super L is a creative person. He's always got something going. He doesn't sit still. Like, I'm not even just saying that, like, at all.
I know.
Unless he's sleeping. But he, let's see, always got good ideas. I don't always agree with all the ideas, but I take them in because there's something in there that I can use, right? He likes to, everything has to be really, when it comes to music, for sure, it needs to be organized. Yeah, it's got to be organized. That's just how he likes to work. And it makes sense. If things are scattered all over the place, then nobody knows what they're doing or where they're going or what's happening. So it's really, that's really important. I think we work fine together. We don't really have any major music issues. Yeah, I don't know. I think, you know, when it comes to those type of things, it's because you walk the walk every day. You're in that every day. You don't really think
about
it. So I don't know. I can say that he has definitely put in the work, the time, the energy, the effort to especially promote the Creole culture, the Mazouk, the Jinping, the Bella, the music. Yeah. Send me a sorry. I just read something. He sent me a message. He's crazy. Anyway, anyways, no, he's I don't know. I don't really think that hard about it. We just do what we have to do, and the end goal is always to try to write something that people will enjoy.
Right.
It's usually the end goal.
Mm.
I mean, for me, when it comes to writing, whether I'm writing funk, soul, or Creole songs, I'm going to say that it's about a message, but sometimes, even though the message is there, I mean, people can read into things and think, oh, that must be happening in your life, right? Oh, did you write that person? But that's not the case all the time. I mean, you know, sometimes you do have to be creative and make some things up. So yes, there might be some truth in some of the songs, but I'm not telling you which ones.
Yeah, and you have to be relatable, right? You have to be able to tap into what people are going through, something that's relevant or relatable, like I said, relatable, right?
Yeah, definitely.
They're not going to connect.
I think there's a lyric that will reach everybody. You know, it may not reach everybody, but it'll reach anybody. If that makes any sense. That was kind of backwards. But yeah. Because it's kind of like a song. You know, you might like the song, and the next person beside you will be like, I don't like that song. Yeah. So, you know, you're not going to. I think also as an artist, one of the things that I will say, I mean, you didn't ask me, but I'll say it anyway, is that one of the things that you must always remember is that you are never going to please everybody.
Right.
Absolutely.
And if you come from that point or that position, you're always ahead of the game.
Mm-hmm.
You always are, because the objective is never to please everybody. You will guarantee please somebody.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So if you're going to go with anything, if you're going to move forward with anything, move forward with that. And you're already winning. That's how I see it. So I never really really second guess what I'm putting out, or should I put that out, or for me, if I'm putting something out, it's going to be about the timing. You know, is it the right time to put this out? You know, it's a summer song. Should I put it out in the middle of the week? Probably not. You know, so I'm going to wait. That's the only thing that I would hold back on, or try to figure out. But never second guess yourself, because then you're only defeating yourself, and you should be proud of what you do, because not everybody can do what you're doing.
Right.
Like you guys, seriously, not everybody can do what you're doing. So you guys need your flowers too, and you should feel good about what you're doing. And I'm not saying that you don't, but I'm just saying, you know, feel good about it, because
we have fun.
Me too. Me too. Me too. We go all week sometimes, like back and forth, you know, about what we're gonna be doing for the week, and yeah.
Well, I hope I didn't throw a total curve in it talking.
Oh no,
absolutely not. You know, you're a trailblazer, you're a trendsetter, you are you've created a path for many people, and you know, some people may not even recognize that it's you who set the foundation for many musical interests in Toronto, right? So
yeah, it's been a really fun time. There's still more to do, more people to support, more people to encourage, influence in some kind of a way, hopefully in a positive way. I try to move in a positive way. I don't really like too much negative energy. I don't think it accomplishes anything. So I usually don't hang around with that. But there's more coming, more to do. Super L and I are working on some other music as well, as I mentioned, so that again, more stuff should be coming out. Just the festival and the radio show and my beats.
Oh yes.
So
Bees.
I had to bring in the bees.
Are they
No, I had to
on the
bees.
market yet, or
No, these are not on the market yet. I'm still just building the because you've got a lot of let me show it here. You have a lot of these type of things, but nothing really feminine bracelet for women in a feminine kind of a way. I always see them and they're just so, like something a little bit more feminine. So I'm working on that. So hopefully we'll get that out very, very soon. That is the plan. That's the goal.
Is that a charm? Is it a charm bracelet?
Yeah, and we've got a Dominica parrot right there.
Okay.
Hopefully you'll see that at Madame Wab. Of course, I just want to, I know this is kind of about me, but I do want to say a big shout out to Lorraine Del Sol, who has been also really supportive of just having me to be part of Madame Wab, because it is, it brings me closer to the community and to Dominica. So, yeah.
Can you just explain a little bit about what Madame Wab is? Madame Wab?
It's a celebration of the culture, of the Dominica culture, and it's a pageant, dress pageant competition of the traditional wear, and so I usually host that, and it just brings me closer to the community. I'm all about community. I'm all about people elevating and just being the best that they can be.
Mm-hmm.
I would really, I can say that within the Dominican community here, I've had a lot of support, but I've also had a lot of pushback from people that just didn't really understand what it was that I was trying to do. There's just some people that don't want community, but they're in community. They're they're fakes.
Yeah.
That is true.
Oh, she dropped out.
I
wonder what happened. Maybe her cell phone might have died if she was using her cell phone. But that interview was going so great. Her voice is just bringing back memories of when I used to listen to her on the radio. It's so soothing, so relaxing. It's just like very captivating.
Yeah, she definitely has the personality for it.
Yeah.
I hope she can come back into. It's the end of the show, but it would be nice to get a proper goodbye from her.
Yeah.
So, but
I don't know.
Oh, she's there. She's there and she's not there.
Maybe you can hear me, but you can't see me. I don't know why you can't see me.
Definitely
hear you.
Okay. Well, I just want to say thank you both so much for allowing me to talk for a full hour.
That's for a full hour. And we can do so much more.
Yes.
Right? So much more to talk about.
I will definitely keep you posted on what's going on, and I appreciate the show, and I just wish you guys, of course, much more continued success. And yeah, I guess until next time.
Yeah, we'll plug in the radio station where they can find you, let them know where the music, where they can find you, and all that.
Okay. Well, if you're looking for me, you can't see me, but if you're looking for me, you can find me online at Paula Letang, Canadian version, Paula Letang, Letang. I use that on all social media platforms. And for the radio show, I am at metradio.ca, or if you're in Toronto on 1280 AM, on the dial. But also I podcast the show. So maybe one day you're driving and you're like, I just want to listen to a little funk from DJ Lady Funkalious, mixcloud.com. I think I have about 150 shows there. So there's a lot to choose from.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's podcast every week.
Nice.
So thank you guys. I know you can't see me, but I can see you. So thank you so much. I appreciate the time, and I look forward to coming back.
Yes.
Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us, Miss Letang, or Letang, the Canadian version.
All one and the same.
Mrs. Lady Funkalicious, thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care, you guys.
Take care.
Plita.
Plita. There you have it, man. That was nice. I I always love Paula energy. I love being around Paula. I always
Mhm.
have to smile when I'm around Paula. So this show is just one of one of my top shows. I'll say, like my all around dissect shows.
Yeah.
Top ones. So yeah, thank you, Miss Lita or Latang or for joining us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. I hope you guys had fun with us. Um, do subscribe to Island Therapy or TDN TV on YouTube,
Mhm.
on Facebook. Trying to get the subscription up so we can get the shows, a little bit more out there for you. Community, like this Nathan said. So yeah, subscribe to those channels, please. Joe.
And next week, so Miss Layton just ended our DJ segment for Dissect for this season, or this season. We may have another one on, but so far, this is our DJ segment. And next week, we're starting with our music artists, our entertainers. So we have Miss Deja. She just did an EP with Taurus Riley. So she's going to be coming on to talk about that. And that's going to be exciting. So I can't wait for next week's show, December 16th.
Yeah. So until next week. And we're going to be together next week. Right?
Yes.
So we'll see you guys next week, Saturday, right back here on TDN TV, as in Therapy Dissect, wherever you guys locked into. You guys have a blessed week and a blessed weekend. On behalf of Island Therapy, Sip and Chat, TDN, I go by the name of Nopolis.
And I am Jewel.
We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
So I'm Janine Xavier Cross. I'm Janelle Xavier. And where's Xavier Street?
So this is what you need on the inside and we're ready to come.
Are you, Jewel? I think you have hidden talents that you're not talking about.
Let's get to the bar. Ain't no bar, Mr. Joe.
Yeah.